Hello everyone, this is Melissa again. I am here to work with the kit, My Valentine, from Sherry Schmear at Studio 28E. This is going to be a design team project, and I absolutely love this kit. She just put it out. It's up on her Etsy. The link is down below, and I've already printed off. I did a preview of the kit yesterday, and I have already cut out all the pages and put the signature together. And what we're going to work on today is creating the paper bag cover for it. I don't know whether I'm going to use the white one or the brown one, but I'm going to show you how to make the paper bag and how I add the doily and all that. And then I've cut apart all of the ephemera already, so I'm going to go ahead and start with filling the journal with the ephemera. All right, so in a moment we'll begin. I'm going to put it on pause and get some stuff ready, and we'll get started. Okay, we are all set. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the clutch. Let me pull up my sleeves. The clutch for the bag. Or, I'm sorry, the clutch for the journal. And this is just regular paper bag. You can see from my hand how big it is. You can do this with any size paper bag. You want to go ahead and open it up and then find that little crease and kind of pinch it backwards. And this does get faster the more you do it. So there you've got that side done, and then you're going to flip it over and do the other side the same way. I usually run my fingernail down the seam and try to pinch, and the same on this side, and pinch, and then follow that seam. So when you pull it apart, it now flattens that whole, sorry about the camera shake, flattens that whole section. And that's step one. The next step is to fold this back up, and that is going to create your top flap. You can glue this together, you can sew this however you want. I do like to reinforce the inside a little bit, so I'm going to go grab a piece of manila file folder, and I'll be right back. Okay, it's just a piece I've already started cutting on, and perfect fit. So I want to make sure I line up at least one edge, and I'm doing the bottom. And I'm just going to take a pencil, because this does not have to be perfect because it's going on the inside, but you want to lightly draw the lines for the shape of the bag. And I'm just going to cut this out. I'm going to go on the inside of that line. And there, now we have the insert for our bag. And you'll notice, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm putting my hand inside, and you can see that that is the shape. All we're doing if it cooperates. I think I made it just a little too big. No. There we go. I'm going to slide that all the way in. Is there a preference for which side? No, not really. Wow, I'm really struggling with this. It usually goes so smoothly. All right, there we go. I had to flip it around, so I put you on pause for a moment. All right, so it looks like I've got a small amount over. So I'm going to pull that out slightly and trim that off just a little bit. And there we go. Now that part's done. Now on these guys, I went ahead and put a small earth magnet in this side. I have not put one on this side yet because you still may want to sew, or there are a ton of things you can do. But for this one, I'm going to go ahead and install the magnet onto the bag so you can see that process. And I'm not worried about it, reinforcing it with any type of paper or anything. And I'm just going to use PVA. PVA is like a acid-free, flexible glue used primarily in bookmaking. Now I want this closer to the top, and I want to make sure I have it in the middle. And I've glued all around, and I'm just going to press that down. Now on mine, I'm going to sew around the edges, so I'm not gluing this cardstock. But I am going to switch this. So I want this on the inside, and the inside is going to have the part of the kit. I'm sorry, I'm hesitating here because I'm focusing on this. This is manila cardstock, or not manila cardstock, manila file folder. And, oh, why am I struggling so much? So we get on camera and we can't do the things we take seconds for us to do normally. I'm trying to slide it on the other side of the flap so that the manila folder is all on the one side. All right, I'll be right back. Kind of a chore. All right, so if you can see here, I'll put focus. You can see there's a color difference because this is double folded over. So you can see the white paper bag, and here you can see the manila cardstock through that. And on this side, it goes all the way from this end to this end. And this is the side that I want to be able to see all one color. This side will get covered in the paper from the kit. There were 2 full-page printables, and I don't know which one I like better, and I may end up using both. I'm not quite sure because it's not quite big enough. My printer doesn't do print to edge on copy paper. It will do for photos, but not for copy paper. And this is 28-pound copy paper from Walmart. So I am going to end up having to add something to the end because it doesn't quite go all the way to the end. But we're not going to worry about that for right now. So here is your envelope started. And do I want to do that the opposite way? I think I'm going to do that the opposite way. This will be the inside because I want to cover this up. So I think I will do that. So I will be right back. I'm going to cut the edges off of this, and I will be right back. Edges are all trimmed. And I think I'm going to go like this. I'm just thinking. So I'm going to be adding this doily on, and I want this to go on this side. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this, and this is going to be outside. Oh, why am I struggling with this? I should switch to white. But I haven't even decided if I'm going to use the brown one or the white one. This is the brown one. So which... Oh, sorry about that. Got all askewed. And this is the kit. I think we're going to go with the brown one. So let me make a minor adjustment. I'll be right back. Complete. I switched the manila folder into this paper bag, the brown one. So we're going to use the brown one for this. Okay, magnet's already in there. Paper doily is on there. The paper doily is a really easy process. And I'll go ahead and do it on this one here. I do have a mat down here, so please don't think I'm getting glue all over my table. It is just a placemat. And basically, I try to gauge for the doily and then just apply glue to the shape that it is and the size. And spread that evenly. Now you do want these to dry thoroughly before you mess around with them. You don't want to make, tear or anything or Alright, that's pretty much set. Then paper doily and position. I use just a piece of paper towel and I press. It picks up some of the excess glue through the holes and presses down image so you get good adherence. Make sure you keep rotating your paper towel because it will stick to the doily and you can end up ripping it, so you have to be very careful and keep switching. And it picks up the extra glue. And it looks like I need a little bit on this edge here. Now the paper doily is saturated, so it's very easy to tear it. All right, so you're going to set this aside and you're going to let it dry. And you end up with this. All right, so we have our manila on the inside. We have the doily, which is going to be the outside of the cover. And we're going to put the, this paper on the outside. And basically I'm going to do is use my PVA glue and paste it down. I'm going to make sure I get right to the edges, even though I am going to be sewing this. Glue on that, darn it. And I'm just going to trim this off. And then I'm going to use this piece here, but first off I'm going to go ahead and fold this. I know it's wet, so I have to be very careful because you really do want to try to have it dry. And for this one, I am going to tear it. So I want a bit of a white edge on there. I like the more white. And I'm going to overlap this piece because I want it to be a little bit longer. Just like that. And glue that down. Now if you're going to be doing sewing, make sure that you wait until all of your glue is dry, unless you use, well, even if you use Fabri-Tac, but Fabri-Tac dries a lot faster. But you don't want to put this through your sewing machine while it's wet. And I'm going to line up the bottom there. Oops, sorry about the camera shake again. Bit of excess glue. Following the paper bag. And looks like I did not quite glue it enough, or moved it over too far. So and there we go. There's our outside, and there's our inside. Now I am going to have to let this dry. I'm just making sure it's set down well. I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to put you on pause, and I'll be back when it's pretty okay. So it is all dry, and I have gone ahead and zigzagged around all of the edges. And there's our inside and our outside. And our journal is going to be sewn right in here, and this will flip over like that. The next thing, I went ahead and pulled that little heart out. That was one of the die cuts that I got from Sherry. So just reinforcing the fold there and reinforcing the fold there. Now I go, of course, I work at Harbor Freight, so they have earth magnets, and these guys are about this big, very small, very powerful, as you can see. And that's what I use. And I have gone and used tea stain paper and gone ahead and put them into, sandwiched them in between. That's a good one. I like that one. Sandwich them in between two pieces of tea stain paper. So I don't know the science over it or the math or anything like that, but on a magnet, one side will repel and one side will stick. And what you want is the snap. So you want to make sure you get the snap side. And attach it just like that. And we are going to add some glue. This time I'm going to add some Fabri-Tac so it glues quickly. Sorry, I'm not sure where my big bottle is, so we're going to have to wait till this squeezes out. You want to make sure that the magnet is attached to the one that's already installed. That way you're going to get perfect placement. And I did put the journal inside. There is no ephemera in there yet. So we'll just have to hold that till it sets. So for right now, I'm going to put a clamp on it and I'm going to let it set aside so it dries. Now let's play around with some of the ephemera. There are a ton of journaling cards, and I've already pre-cut and made the pockets. And that's another piece. I think this one is an envelope. And here's another envelope. And yet another envelope. Be a long tag, and then there's a bunch of bits and pieces and ephemera and belly bands or side tucks, whatever you want to call them. Some of the words have already been cut out. Those are cute. Little hand with cards. Okay, let me check on this guy. I'm going to hold down that piece of paper that has the magnet in it and go ahead and lift up. I'm going to make sure that that's pressed down really well. As if I had put it inside, it would have been too thick, I think. So and that's going to snap closed. All right, that's parts done. And I think I'm going to save the rest of this for the next video, which will be tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please do join Sherry's Facebook group, Studio 28E, and check out the kit. It's on Etsy, and I have the link below. So I will see you tomorrow when we're going to be working on some of the ephemera. All right, thanks, and have a great afternoon, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.